are very clear. When you rise to second a motion, there must be no remark, no debate. What the minority leader, who has not told us if it is now spiritually okay for him to sit in the minority leader's chair. I don't know what his spiritual advisors are telling him now. He cannot be violently violating our standing orders with such impunity. We cannot accept it. So, Mr. Chairman, please, we invite you to ensure that this solemn occasion proceeds with respect for our Constitution and the standing orders of the House. If you have some, you call it preliminary remarks, you can do that out of the confines of the motion and secondment. You are minority leader. You are well within your right to make your preliminary remarks after. You cannot be violating our standing orders. Please, let's be careful the precedent we set. This is so bizarre. It's never been seen in this House. So, respected minority leader, please. And, Chair, I'm getting the impression that the clerk is allowing the minority leader to dictate the pace. Please, let's see your authority. We will not accept this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, honorable members.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, thank you very much. The honorable minority leader indicated that he is aware of the rules of engagement regarding seconding the motion nominating the speaker. That should be without debate or remarks. And I believe the honorable minority leader will do exactly so. Honorable minority leader, you may proceed without debate or remarks. Honorable minority leader, you have the floor. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I do not want to take issues with my respected colleague, Honorable Ablakwa. I will always want to respect his views. But I love debate, and I would want us to go into the issues. I kept quiet. You are impatient. I kept quiet for you. Let's have some decorum. Mr. Chairman, my practice at the bar is always a guide for me. I said I have a preliminary matter to raise. In law, Mr. Blakwa, you pay attention. This is a matter of law. This is a matter of law. This is a matter of law. Law, pay attention. When Mr. Chairman, I said I have a preliminary matter, I meant to say that I had to deal with the preliminary matter before I get to the stage of seconding the motion. And that is allowed. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, this house is a house of rules and procedures. Mr. Chairman, before I proceed, let me put on record that the minority leader is a distinguished lawyer of repute. And indeed, Mr. Chairman, I will refer the House to the rules of this House, and specifically to Order 8, Rule 4. And Mr. Chairman did refer to it, which reads, with your permission, and I quote, that a member-elect addressing the clerk shall propose a person to the House as the Speaker of Parliament and shall move that the person, quote, do take the chair of this House as Speaker, end quote, which motion shall be seconded without debate or remarks, end quote. Mr. Chairman, my colleague, brother, and friend, the Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa, made the point rightly that in seconding the motion for somebody to take the chair, one is not entitled to make remarks or debate. But Mr. Chairman, we all heard the venerable, distinguished, astute lawyer, minority leader, Honorable Afenyo Makin, loud and clear. Mr. Chairman, he said, and I quote him, before I second the motion, and end quote, before I second the motion. Mr. Chairman, he had not seconded the motion. And he did go a step further, Mr. Chairman, he did go a step further to say, before I second the motion, I would like to make some preliminary points. And so, Mr. Chairman, I will pardon my friend and brother, the Honorable Okujeto Ablakwa. He is not a lawyer. And therefore, by a basic rule, Mr. Chairman, by a basic rule or canon of interpretation, even a lay person will appreciate that the distinguished minority leader is yet to second the motion, and therefore he's entitled to make the preliminary points he sought to make. So let the minority leader make those points.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, honorable members. Thank you, honorable members. Honorable members, we shall proceed with seconding of the motion. And honorable minority leader, please proceed. Brevity is the rules of the game.
Mr. Chairman,
Roxy, sit down. If he's not interested in seconding the motion, he should sit down. I rise to second the motion. The motion is therefore seconded. Thank you very much.
No. Which one? You are not sure. You are not sure. What happened? You don't know what happened. Mr. Chairman.
Honorable members, minority leader, just a minute. Would you kindly resume your seat, minority leader? Minority leader, I'll give you the floor. All right. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. Honorable members. The honorable minority leader was on the floor before the other honorable member interjected. The rules of the House. Honorable members. Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader, please continue with the seconding of the motion.
Mr.
Please
Chairman.
second the motion. Please second the motion.
Mr. Chairman, our Constitution, Article 95, provides that there shall be a Speaker who shall be elected by members of Parliament from among persons who are members of Parliament or who are qualified to be elected as members of Parliament. Mr. Chairman, I have in my hand a statement issued by the office of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, titled President-elect Mandate NDC Parliamentary Leadership to nominate Right Honorable A.S.K. Bagbin as Speaker of 9th Parliament. It reads, the President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has in consultation with the National Executive and Parliamentary Leadership of National Democratic Congress, mandated the nomination
Mr. Chairman,
of the Right Honorable Aban Suman Kingsford Babi as Speaker of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, this letter is signed by Mr. Felix Ofosu, Kwachi Ofosu, as Special Aide. Chairman, the preliminary issue I'm raising is to the effect that the nomination
Mr. Chairman,
only requires the consent
where from
of
that
the
letter?
person to be nominated.
Where from that letter? That letter, where is it from?
Situation where
It must not be tolerated.
that the
Where from that
executive
letter?
now directs that a
Where
member
from that letter?
she nominates would make this arm of
This is the
government
House of Records.
an
Where from that
appendage
letter?
of the executive. Mr. Chairman,
Where from that letter?
is the objection that I have. Having made that point,
Where from that letter?
I need, Mr. Chairman, to also draw your attention
You see, Sammy,
to the fact
you have
that
been vindicated.
in 2001,
Jethro.
7 January, when
Is
Right
this
Honorable
seconding the
himself,
motion?
as minority
What
leader,
is doing?
was seconding the motion ably moved by J.H. Mensah for consideration of Alajete as the speaker. These were his observations, and I read from column 4 of the Hansard of 7 January 2001. I quote, A.S.K. Bagbin, NDC, Nadole Kalu North, as he then was. He says, Mr. Chairman, I rise to second the motion urging this House to accept the nomination of Mr. Peter Alajete as Speaker of the 3rd Parliament of the 4th Republic. He goes on to say, Mr. Chairman, in doing so, however, I would want to register the displeasure of the minority side on how this issue has been handled. Mr. Chairman, it is part of the rules of democracy for us to be heard. I am not opposed to the motion, but my concerns must register for Hansa. And the man that we are proposing for the high office of Speaker himself has set a precedent where in seconding Alajete, the chair allowed him to raise his concerns. Let us tolerate each other. I am here with his own records. Mr. Chair, my contention basically is that in view of the improper consultation, from the majority side in this matter, and in view of the fact that, Mr. Speaker, the executive, in a public statement, is directing the honorable majority leader to nominate a person. I hold the view that
Honorable minority leader.
No, I have to come in.
Jethro, there is no any executive.
Honorable minority leader.
There is no any
Honorable
executive.
minority leader. Honorable minority leader.
There is no any executive.
Honorable minority
Which
leader.
executive?
Honorable minority leader.
Weapon. There is no executive.
Recognize honorable members' intents. But let me make a point. Honorable minority, I am the chair of this proceedings. Let me make my point. Honorable minority leader, there are extraneous matters which I believe should not be part of this process. You were to second the motion. The other information you were tendering, the other information you were providing is not an information which is before this House. It is not part of the process for consideration for nomination of the Speaker. So, in seconding the motion, these matters ought not to have been brought to the floor of the House. Let me make that point. In doing so, I recognize Honorable Muntaka, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Chair, ordinarily I would not have reason to speak, but because we have rules and you have a leader grossly abusing it, I need to draw his attention. Aside Order 7, I want to refer the minority leader to our standing orders 11510. And in 11510, it says, and I read, under rules of debate, and I read, a member seconding the motion or an amendment shall state, Mr. or Madam Speaker, I beg to second the motion or amendment, except that this may be without limiting the right of the member to speak later at a later stage within the debate. Most importantly, Mr. Chair, 11, it says, a mover of a motion or amendment may speak in support of the motion, but subject to these orders, no further, and that's where the emphasis is, no further debate is allowed until the motion or amendment has been seconded. So while you are saying, yes, it's within your right as a member, and even when you go to Order 8, after seconding and the motion is taken, before the Speaker is called to take the chair, the standing order allows a member to get up and make other comments before that chair. So all we are saying is that in what you are doing, you are abusing the rules. You can second the motion, let the motion pass. If you have something to say, you get up and you cut the out of the chair, and then you'll be allowed to speak. So with this, you are abusing our rules, and we need to draw your attention. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Honorable minority leader, I take it that you have seconded the motion. If you haven't seconded the motion, honorable minority leader, you will second the motion. You will not proceed on any other matter apart from seconding the motion. So long as I remain the chair of these proceedings, you will not do any other thing apart from seconding the motion. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I have heard Honorable Muntaka. I disagree with him, but I'll reserve that for another day. Mr. Chairman, with the greatest respect to you, wait, Mr. Chairman,